Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Amcrest ProHD. This is a 1080p Wi-Fi camera, an IP camera for surveillance, whether we're talking about home or office, whatever you want to keep an eye on. It has pan and tilt capability, a 2-megapixel Sony sensor, to my understanding, roughly $100 to $120 on any given day. So really a nice combination of performance and value. You can see right here on the side of the box, premium HD 1080p resolution when it comes to recording at 30 frames per second, which is key. That really does make it watchable, forget actually high quality. A 60-second mobile Wi-Fi setup as promised by the manufacturer. Advanced video recording, so you can record, store. There is a micro SD card slot on here that supports up to 32 gigs. That is as per Amcrest. I will be testing that out. You also have the option to go with the Amcrest Cloud, which is an additional service, and then smart alerts for motion and sound. It does record and receive notifications when motion or sound is detected. It also has, as you can see right here on the box, cloud recording I just mentioned, intelligent timeline playback, two-way audio with noise suppression, night vision up to 32 feet, something I intend on testing, a wide-angle view. I mentioned the pan and tilt capability, which is another great feature, and secure video streaming and storage, and of course then compatible with Amcrest's own application, both within the Google Play Store or the Apple iOS App Store. Beyond that, other things to mention, the wide-angle camera, or lens rather, is 90 degrees. It is a Sony 2-megapixel sensor. At least that's what I believe the information I read indicates. And in terms of specifications, right there along the box, pretty much just a rundown of everything that you might want to know about this product that I've already mentioned, but in more detail. With that said, let me get this out of the box so you can see what this camera looks like. There's the back, by the way, where you can see the fact that you can actually hardwire network this as opposed to using Wi-Fi. It also has the ability to integrate with an alarm, input and output for audio, 3.5 millimeter mic jacks there. The micro SD card slot I mentioned, and then the built-in speaker. So really, this is an alternative to the much more expensive Nest Cam or, Netgear's Arlo, but in a much more affordable package. And I have to say, I'm impressed with Amcrest's physical packaging and presentation of the product. And they did provide me with this, and it is for review. And this is something that I was interested in, something that I, have been dabbling with quite a few different models, from the current Nest Cam to the Netgear Arlo. So I'm very interested to see what Amcrest has put together here. And from what I have seen in terms of samples of capability, I have been impressed. So let's go ahead and slide this out of the packaging. And the fact that it does everything and then some, I would say more than what the competition does, is what really makes it very compelling. Even though they do have their own application and cloud storage capability, you have the upside of being able to just utilize a micro SD card slot, which I think is something most consumers are looking for. Now, I am curious as to whether the 32 gig cap that they claim is accurate, because of course I have a 128 gig and a 200 gig card here. In the event that I can bump it up to an even larger capacity SD card, we have a quick start guide, first thing out of the box, combined with some software. Going to go ahead and put those aside. This does come in white and black for those of you that are curious. And go ahead and put the camera aside and show you what else is in the package. Right here we should have, I believe it includes, beyond just the actual power adapter, which we have right here, we also have an included mount, which is something you don't necessarily get. Here are the mounting screws and the mollies right there, so that you can actually, or anchors rather, so you can actually mount this thing to a wall, ceiling, whatever it may be. And then you have the mount itself that the camera just attaches to, and you mount wherever you please. Other than that, Amcrest also goes out of their way to include a network cable. So you've got that in the event that you actually don't want to use or utilize Wi-Fi, but want to hardwire this. So really, they have covered everything you could possibly want, something that I do like to see. And then here is the camera itself. Now remember, as I mentioned earlier, a 2 megapixel sensor, 90-degree wide angle, and then you have the ability to pan and tilt as well as zoom in on your subject of choice. So really a lot of flexibility that doesn't exist with competing products that maybe have a wider angle sensor but lack the ability to actually pan and tilt to give you full control of what you are looking at. I am really intrigued by this, especially the affordability factor. I mean, you're looking at something here, as I mentioned before, that retails, I think, originally for well over $100, but now can be found currently. I'll include a link in the description to purchase this directly from Amcrest for, I think, roughly $100 US, maybe even a little bit less. A lot of retailers are selling it for a little bit more. I recommend you use the link in the description. You can see all the ports right here that I was mentioning earlier, from the hardwired Ethernet jack, the alarm port, reset button right there, I believe, your micro SD card slot, your audio out and in, and then finally the actual DC in for power. And there is the speaker right there. It really does have, as I've continued to mention, more features than any other IP camera that directly competes with it, and it basically undercuts pricing in a big way. I mean, when you compare it to something like the Nest Cam that I have used, that retails for $200, and the quality here looks just as good from at least what I've seen. Of course, I'm going to test it, and you'll probably see samples from this. So excited to share this with all of you. Again, it's the Amcrest ProHD, and at roughly $100 US, you're looking at what is likely one of the best IP cameras that delivers 1080p at 30 frames per second with complete flexibility and night vision, as well as the ability to record, because you do have that micro SD card slot, something you will not find on something like the Nest Cam, at a very affordable price. And then, of course, software to support it. You're not buying a no-name product that, is basically just a substitute item, but rather something that really does end up delivering exactly what you're looking to get out of an IP camera for your home or office. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button, and as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.